Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to another Vintage Cube draft. I've been having a ton of fun playing this format. It is the best way to play Magic, in my opinion, and I'm so happy to be doing another one yet today. I think I'll be taking Soul Ring out of this pack. It just goes in any deck. It keeps us open. It's really powerful. It's like, you know, the power 9. If it was the power 10, it would be, because Soul Ring would be the 10th card, is how I've heard it described. And getting it as a first pick lets us kind of plan a deck around it a little bit. And there's nothing else that keeps us open while being as powerful. Like, it's kind of fast bond, but Soul Ring it is. Hope y'all are having a good day today. I know I am, but I've got a lot I need to do today, so I figured I'd get one more Vintage Cube draft done at least before I have to go and be a responsible human being. I've had all my coffee now. And what did we learn from last draft? We learned to not play the color green. Okay. So let's see. What do we got here? There's an Archon of Cruelty, Badlands, there's an Oath of Druids, Garrick Wild Speaker. I think the pick is either we take like a duel of some kind or Archon. I don't know that I want to be playing Reanimator. I think like Fiery Islet keeps us the most open. I think it's either Archon, Fiery Islet, or Badlands is the card we're taking here. I see a Corpse Dance, so like we could actually go into Reanimator, because odds are Corpse Dance is going to wheel. You know what? Sure, we'll take an Archon. I like Archon of Cruelty. I really enjoy casting it. In this pack, there's a Uraga Tree Speaker, Turnabout, Koligon's Command, Gilded Lotus, Tezzeret the Seeker, and Batterskull. I kind of like taking Gilded Lotus. Gilded Lotus lets us cast an Archon. We can just play like a whole bunch of Artifact Ramp. If we wheel Tezzeret, we can do Artifact-y stuff. K-Command is really good if we're playing black. Burst Lightning is decent removal, but we'll take a Gilded Lotus. We can do some Artifact Rampy stuff. Let's see, what do we got in this pack? Rabblemaster is really good with Soul Ring. There's Karn, Scion of Urza, which can draw cards. It's colorless. We can take a Selesnya Signet if we just really want to go on the Artifact Ramp plan. I think the Signet is where I want to be here, so I'm just going to take the Signet. Okay, there's a Thrawn Dynamo, Shallow Grave, like a Daze. Because blue artifacts for like Tinker, Daze is like a really, really powerful backup plan to protect your whatever spells you're casting that are important. I think I'm going to take Thrawn Dynamo just for the artifact ramp. Shallow Grave is, I think, my least favorite reanimation spell besides Makeshift Mannequin. It can reanimate Emrakul, but that's like the only good situation for it. Like reanimating an Archon with Shallow Grave is like fine, but like you're going to lose the Archon. Like Archon at least gives you value off Shallow Grave, but I'm going to take the Thrawn Dynamo. It just seems like more fun to me right now. Okay, so our options here are like Putrid Imp, Wandering Emperor, or a Duel, I think. Could take Braids. Braids would be fun. Wandering Emperor is very strong. Nurturing Peatland can draw us cards. Putrid Imp is more for the Reanimator game plan. I think I'm going to go with the Imp, because if we don't end up, like, we can do Reanimator with, like, Artifact mana backup, if we end up getting the reanimation spells to make it work. Okay, I kind of like Basalt Monolith here. Yeah, we could take Terastodon. Like, Terastodon is both a decent Reanimator target and a decent ramp spell. Like, Basalt Monolith is really good when you have things like Tezzeret to untap it. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Terastodon. Okay, we've got Land Tax, Seagate Stormcaller, Nighthawk Scavenger, Phyrexian Revoker, and Spell Pierce. I kind of like the Revoker here. We can play it turn 1 off Soul Ring. It's an artifact. We can potentially disrupt our opponent's planeswalkers or mana. I'm probably not playing blue at this point. It doesn't seem to be super open, at least as far as I've been paying attention, so we'll take the Revoker. It's disruptive. Nahiri is a pretty good plan to have if you're casting huge stuff, because like you can upticker, discard Reanimator threats, you can alter to like go fetch up a huge creature and swing with it. So I really liking Nahiri here. I love Chandra, Torch of Defiance. This is probably not like a mono red deck. Oath of Druids. So Karmic Guide is a reanimation spell. It's a pretty heavy white reanimation spell. We could play an Oath of Druids deck if we get enough big, smashy creatures. There's only one Oath of Druids. There's a lot of reanimation spells. I'm going to take an Oath of Druids. Okay. If we're doing big artifact mana stuff, I do like Tezzeret a lot. Turnabout came around, so nobody was interested in that. Maybe blue is a little more open. I'll take Tezzeret for now. Lava Claw Reaches is potential mana fixing. It's not great mana fixing, but it's potential mana fixing, so I'm going to take it. I guess I take a Scrap Heap Scrounger. This is probably a Braids deck more than a Thundermaw deck. And Raging Ravine. Okay. So we got some stuff. We have a few powerful cards. We're going to need more glue to stick them together, though. Like, obviously, if we're playing Oath, we're not going to be playing Putrid Imp, Revoker, or Scrounger, or Braids. You know, we may not play Oath depending on what cards we get here. So Remand is good. If we're playing blue, Remand is pretty fantastic. Monastery Mentor is also pretty good. If you have things like Soul Ring or Moxen. This is probably not a force deck. I doubt we will have enough blue spells. So, like, there's Animate Dead and Jace Vryn's Prodigy for, like, looting stuff away to reanimate it. I really like Coercive Portal, though. So, like, between Jace, Animate Dead, and Brutality, something from this pack probably comes around to us. Coercive Portal, though, like, if we can just artifact ramp it out really quick, becomes very good. We just start drawing 2 cards a turn. In some weird circumstances, you can blow up the board with it, but it's unlikely because your opponent's probably going to vote against you. But Coercive Portal is a very good magic card, so I think I'm going to take it. It is Exhume, Dak Faden, Mox Diamond. Mox Diamond in a deck like this is actually really good because we're going to have some pretty interesting color requirements. Yeah, I think I like Mox Diamond, so I'm going to take Mox Diamond. You do have to play quite a few lands for Mox Diamond to actually be good. For it to be acceleration, you need to be able to discard a land and still play a land. So, in that regard, let's see, what do we got here? There's a Memory Jar. Like, playing a whole bunch of artifact mana into a Memory Jar is pretty good. Artifact mana into a Time Spiral is less good. A Braid is a pretty decent spell. It's probably not a Dark Ritual or Bitter Blossom deck. I could take Celestial Colonnade or Sword. I think I'd take Memory Jar. Okay, Bolus's Citadel. There's a Chrome Mox. Let's see. I still have no real idea what I'm doing with this deck other than casting Artifact. Chrome Mox is less good in the Artifacts deck because you're not going to always have a colored spell to pitch to it. Citadel is strong, but it's much stronger in Storm. I guess I'm probably going to take a Steam Vents for fixing, because that helps me play things like Nahiri or Tezzeret. Godless Shrine is also somewhat tempting. Yeah, I'm going to take Steam Vents, because casting my spells is going to be important. Okay, so several good cards in this pack. There's a Path, there's a Plateau, there's a Demonic Tutor, Mere Battle Ball. Battle Ball is good off artifact mana. It's also a decent reanimator target. Demonic Tutor is go get the best card in your deck, which when you're cheating on mana like this is a lot better. I think I'm going to take the Tutor. Okay, I like Everflowing Chalice. Treachery is also good. Unburial Rites is a reanimation spell. Probe you can play in basically any deck. I'm playing like Reanimator with no reanimation spells, so I probably should take the Unburial Rites, but like Everflowing Chalice is just so good. I'm gonna take Everflowing Chalice. Let's see. If I'm playing Oath of Druids, Terastodon, and Nahiri, Stomping Ground is good, because that kind of helps in that regard. Yorion is also decent. This could be an Expressive Iteration deck, but I'm not so sure about that. I'm going to take Stomping Ground. Okay, I can take an Ulamog here. Ulamog the Infinite Gyre. Just like artifact mana into an 11 drop. Yeah, let's go for it. Okay, so Animate Dead was picked. The game wants me to take Monastery Mentor. This could be, like, I could take Field of the Dead. Yeah, let's take take the Mentor, I think. Okay, there's a Snuff Out, an Oblivion Ring, a Silent Clearing. I'm just going to take the land here. Dark Ritual, Dark Confidant, which would be a death sentence. I guess... I mean, like, if I get Dark Ritual out of Braids, that'd be pretty cool in a deck like this. I'm probably playing black, so I will take Dark Ritual, but I don't know that I'm playing that. There's a Godless Shrine, an Esper Sentinel, or a Chrome Mox. If I got something like Tolarian Academy, Chrome Mox would be a fantastic pickup. I'm gonna take the Chrome Mox. I know I said it's not good in decks like this, but we're gonna find out. Probably a Gideon deck more than an Avalanche Riders deck. I'm probably not playing either of these. And Through the Breach can be a decent backup plan for our Ulamog. Like, that's gotta do something, right? Well, there's a deck in this pile of cards somewhere. I just, I did not make my 3-in-a-row trophy streak, so we're just kind of drafting for funsies right now. Okay, so we have Fractured Identity, Lodestone Golem, Metalworker, Mindslaver, Recurring Nightmare. Recurring Nightmare is very powerful, as is Metalworker and Lodestone Golem. I'm probably playing black, and I could be playing like red-white. I don't know about Tezzeret right now. If I was playing blue, Fractured Identity is really good. I kind of like Lodestone Golem here, and maybe we take Metalworker or Mindslaver on the wheel. Let's try that. Okay, there's a Crucible. There's a Tolarian Academy. Okay, well, we got 3 0-drop artifacts and a Soul Ring, so, like, Tolarian Academy has to be good. Yeah, okay. Tolarian Academy it is. We got a number of artifacts, right? I wouldn't mind a couple more Signets. That would definitely make my life easier. Phyrexian Metamorph. I just passed Crucible. Otherwise, we'd have Crucible Strip Mine. There's a Mystic Confluence, an Ashen Rider. Although, with something like Ashen Rider, we're probably not going to be able to cast it at all. Metamorph, we can, like, Metamorph a Soul Ring or a Lodestone Golem. Yeah, if I'm doing Broken Artifact shenanigans, I think I want the Broken Artifact clone. There's a Wishclaw Talisman, which is both an artifact and a tutor. There's a Faithless Looting or a Fatal Push to try and get through my deck a little bit faster. There's an Esper-colored land. I think I'm going to take the land just for the fixing. There's a Gruul Signet. This is probably not a High Tide deck. There's Forge Master. I don't have anything really worth tinkering into. I don't have a Blightsteel or a... I don't have a Blightsteel or an Inkwell Leviathan. There's a Crop Rotation for Tolarian Academy. I could potentially... I think there's one more pack I haven't seen. I'm just going to take the Signet. This is sort of fixing for us. Oh, there's Inkwell. Ugh, okay. This is... Lotus Petal is more for combo than it is for the artifact deck. There's a Duretti, and there's the other Duretti as well. We're probably not playing blue, other than, like, to say that we have a Tolarian Academy. That's just going to tap for colorless mana, I think. I think I'm going to take this Duretti, because having a repeatable, like, Bone Splinters on a stick is really good. He makes artifact tokens for Tolarian Academy. Golos for Tolarian Academy seems really good. Yeah, we'll take Golos. I have no fetch lands for Ren N6. I do have a sack land, though that's probably not that great. I think I just take Relic. Relic is good versus some random decks. It cycles, it's colorless, and it's an artifact that's cheap, so I think I'm going to take Relic here. Okay, Mindslaver came around. We can Mindslaver people. Yeah, let's Mindslaver people. Hashtag not a strategy. Hashtag I wish I was Reanimator. It's like, oh, we're going to play Reanimator, we're going to play Reanimator, we're going to play Reanimator. Pass every reanimation spell. Oh, we need this first. Somebody else is playing Reanimator. Somebody else has a real deck. This is not looking good for me. I guess I probably want Academy Ruins to, like, buy back stuff. Or I can play Copperline Gorge, and we can try and have 5-color mana for Golos. That's not super unreasonable, to be honest. We have lands that tap for any color in a Mox Diamond. I'll take a Copperline Gorge over an Oblivion Stone and hopefully not regret it. Oh my goodness, who is texting me? I don't think I'm playing any of the cards in this pack. I'll just take a mom away from someone. Assassin's Trophy. I'll take Mishra's Factory, I guess. Obnixilis, the Adversary. I mean, we can attack with a fat creature and then Obnixilis Casualty to 7 damage burn. Okay, we got a Duretti and a Croxa. Okay. So let's see what we're doing here, actually. We're not reanimating, so Putrid Imp is coming out of the deck. This is not an Oath of Druids deck because we're going to have to play like this section of the curve to have a real deck. So I think Croxa needs to come out. Braid's Metamorph can stay in. This is not really a Mentor deck. Mentor is a lot better when you have like multiple Moxen, but you're also casting cheap spells. This is probably still maybe a Dark Ritual deck, which would be a little bit odd. So we're kind of playing like black-red stuff. I have multiple red lands that tap for green and a Gilded Lotus and a Mox Diamond. So like Terastodon as a hard cast top end is not that unreasonable. I also have multiple green signets. So I'm kind of comfortable with that. We are keeping Memory Jar in the deck because the plan is to just like play out our hand, Memory Jar, and the next turn draw 7 cards on like our opponent's end step. Draw 7s are good when you have this many mana rocks, that's for sure. So I'm kind of like Mardu. I don't know that this is Big Chad deck. Doesn't really scream Big Chad energy to me. Tezzeret the Seeker is good when you just have this many artifacts. We can kind of like splash him off of an academy, I guess. I don't know. I do have an island or 2 in the deck. So that's the other thing about like picking Fixing and Vintage Cube. If you just have like all the non-basics in the world that can tap for a bunch of different colors, you can play weird double splashes and stuff. It's not necessarily good, but it will work. Let's see. So Duretti can like recycle Mindslaver repeatedly off of our artifact mana. I do like that. I don't actually know that this is a Dark Ritual deck. Demonic Tutor is too strong to not run. Nahiri is good for several reasons, although we're not going to be reanimating anything we ditch, except maybe a Scrap Heap Scrounger. Although, like, Scrounger's an artifact for Tolarian Academy, but that's, like, where its usefulness stops. Because we're never getting it back out of the grave, and it can't block. So I think we're actually going to get rid of Scrounger. Like, Phyrexian Revoker is, like, still has a lot of utility. Oh, hang on, I'm getting a phone call. Okay, I have to step out and lift a heavy object really quick for my father, but I will be back, and I will try to have this deck built when I come back. Alright, yeah, my dad was mowing the neighbor's lawn, and his mower... this ancient lawnmower that he's got, it's older than me. The deck like completely sheared across the front, so he has to like weld it back together. And he was like, "I need you to help me carry the welder over to the front of the garage." And he can't lift anything, so that's all me. So I need to cut 3 cards. I can like Braids. Braids is kind of interesting because we can just like sack mana rocks, and if we like hyper accelerate a Braids out, our opponent just can't play the game. But I'm wondering if that's even worth it, because we have to cut something. Maybe I do cut Terastodon. I mean, we could upgrade our signets into elephants. Man, I really don't have any idea what to cut here. I could sideboard Relic, but I don't think that's actually worth it. Let's see, how many white sources do we have for Nahiri? We've got Rafine's Tower, a Silent Clearing, a Chrome Mox that has nothing to pitch for white, so not actually, a Mox Diamond, and a Selesnya Secret. So that's 4. And we have a Demonic Tutor. I feel like I need to cut like a Planeswalker or something. Alright, I'm going to sideboard the Relic against my better judgment. No, I can't, because like if we get a Tolarian Academy hand, we need to have cheap artifacts in the deck. I guess I'm cutting Obnixilis, because he just doesn't directly contribute to the game plan. Like, he's good, but he's not going to make or break the deck. I feel like I have to cut Braids, but I really don't want to. Because, like, she's not really that great of a top deck. She's really good with, like, Daretti. Don't really want to cut through the Breach. That's our backup plan for actually getting our fat creatures onto the board. But I feel like if I can cut one more card, I can probably run 15 lands because of the amount of mana rocks that I have. So, you know what? I guess it's Tezzeret. Tezzeret's really good in a deck like this, but I'm not sure, really not sure how that's going to work. This wants me to play like one of every basic land. Okay, you know what? 5 color something pile. Let's go. Alrighty. Round 1, we would like to play first. I mean, if we draw a big creature, this is potentially very good. So I think I'm going to keep this. Chrome Mox, I might play out just as a 0 mana artifact if we get something like Tolarian Academy. I don't know. Like, I might end up discarding Lava Claw Reaches, but I'm going to actually start Relic of Progenitus here, just to keep my opponent guessing. Like, there's a lot of Delve spells. There is a lot of stuff that, like, uses the graveyard miscellaneously, so maybe I was supposed to mulligan this. Opponent Mox Diamond, discarding a Swamp, and they play a Jace. Well, we'll prevent Jace from flipping, hopefully. And if our opponent's playing Reanimator, we can, at the very minimum, hopefully keep up a Relic activation to deal with a threat out of the grave. I mean, we almost have enough mana to through the Breach, so if we draw, like, Ulamog or Archon, that would be something. Okay, Stomping Ground. I'm going to play Lava Claw Reaches, and I'm going to Mox Diamond this Plains away. And pass. Okay, opponent loots with Jace. They discard an Orzhov Signet. Okay, they play a land. And they pass. Interesting. Okay, we untap. We do draw Tolarian Academy, so that's pretty good. Play Stomping Ground. Pass. Esper colors for Satoru Umezawa. Okay, we untap. Draw Gruul Signet. Okay, let's cast a Chrome Mox. Exiling nothing. Play Gruul Signet. Play Tolarian Academy. Tap Academy for a bunch of blue. Relic activation. Let's hope to draw something big. We didn't. Okay. So we're probably toast. His opponent's just gonna, like, ninjutsu an Emrakul in or something. The hope there was we hit, like, an Archon. Okay, opponent's going to Imperial Seal, something to the top of their deck. It's probably they're getting an Exhume, or if they already have an Exhume, a big creature. There's a Woodfall Primus. Okay, there's the Exhume. Unfortunately, we do not have a creature in the grave. Opponent's going to blow up Tolarian Academy, 100%. And then attack us for 2. So we untap, we draw Duretti. Duretti versus... If it was any other creature, Duretti here would be great, but Duretti killing Woodfall Primus just gives them another Woodfall Primus. Like, what do we do? I guess we kill Satoru. And play Duretti. And if we hadn't gotten rid of Relic, we could have, like, down-tick to kill Woodfall Primus and then cracked Relic to prevent it from re-entering, but such is not the case. That is unfortunate. Okay, black-red. Opponent plays Kroxa. We discard Through the Breach. They lose Kroxa. They can loot with Jace to then flip Jace. They have Bazaar of Baghdad. They loot away a Lava Claw Reaches. Alright, they killed already. We untap, and we draw nothing. I can animate Lava Claw Reaches, but I can't kill Jace. I'm going to concede. I don't want him to see any more of this particular deck. Because we're doing some weird stuff. I don't really want to play Oath of Druids in this deck. I don't have enough stuff to bring in. Yeah, let's go ahead and just run it back and try and keep a better starting hand. I would like to play first. Well, we have Soul Ring on the way to a Terastodon, I suppose. And go turn 1, land Soul Ring Signet, like cycle Rafine's Tower. I suppose we can have worse starts than this. Like, we're ramping kind of into nothing at the moment, but if their only reanimation spell is Exhume, we might be able to get Terastodon into the grave somehow. And then we can get a Terastodon in response to whatever they reanimate. But unless we top deck a Gilded Lotus or Thron Dynamo, I don't think we're actually going to be casting this Terastodon. But it's really hard to mulligan a hand that has Soul Ring, especially in a deck that wants to cast it as bad as this one. And we're at 5 mana on turn 2, which gives us access to a lot of stuff that we could top deck. Basically everything. The only thing I can't play is like Nahiri. Opponent Mox Diamonds away Bazaar of Baghdad. Cabal Ritual, Entomb. Exhume? Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh. I don't think we had a hand that beat that, period. If that's what this is. And I have no reason to doubt that that's what this is. Oh my gosh, that's disgusting. And it's Archon. Well, I can ditch Terastodon, but that's kind of my game plan at the moment. I think I'm going to discard Stomping Ground. So they lost 8 life, right? Or is it... You lose life equal to its mana value. Reanimate targeting cruelty. Why are they at 15 as opposed to... What am I missing? They should have lost 8 life. Oh, Archon gains them life. Duh. It's a turn too late. Oh, it's a turn too late. Oh my god. I guess I'm going to cycle Relic. Okay, there's a Thron Dynamo, and I discarded my other green source instead of the Steam Vents for some reason. Alright, oh shoot, for some reason I thought I could play Thron Dynamo this turn. I can't. Okay, so opponent's going to attack us for a ton. I guess we're ditching Rafine's Tower. I probably should have cycled it first. Oh. You know what? I did not. I should have played Rafine's Tower instead of shocking Steam Vents there. That was just a mistake. Opponent Knight's Whisper. Because one of my outs to this was playing Nahiri, and we need white mana for that. Okay, unfortunately, Coercive Portal is not going to do it, so... we'll see you guys in round 2. Oh, shoot. I unmuted because I was going to say something and now I completely forgot. Whatever, see you guys in round 2. Alrighty, we are on the play. We have no acceleration, but we do have a Braids and a Duretti, so I think we're going to keep. So we can, like, Demonic Tutor on turn 2 for Soul Ring. Let's start with Rafine's Tower. Mox Diamond. I can't play Braids this turn, can I? I can play Duretti. Maybe I should play Duretti first. So we go like Copperline Gorge, Mox Diamond, discard Lava Claw Reaches, play Duretti, make tokens, and then just like Windmill Slam a Braids. Then we have Demonic Tutor to go get whatever we need to deal with this situation. That seems good. Rishadan Port into... Okay, they are passing. We untap. We draw Coercive Portal. So we play a Swamp. Make an Artifact. And try and play a Braids. If they don't have, like, a mana leak, we're in business. Miscalc. Well, we can't pay for a Miscalc, unfortunately. Opponent plays a Wall of Omens and Inquisition, so they take Demonic Tutor, but we do get to resolve a Coercive Portal. Make a Construct. Play Coercive Portal. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. Opponent plays Plains, Flicker Wisp. They're going to Flicker Wall of Omens. Okay. So they're going to draw a card that way. They're going to Duress through the Breach. We untap, we vote Homage. So we draw a card. We draw Chrome Mox. We have no artifacts in the grave to clone. So kill Flicker Wisp, sacking a Construct. Play Tolarian Academy, and I'm just going to play out a Chrome Mox with no cards in hand. At the very least, it's going to generate mana off of Tolarian Academy, and we can always just sack it to Duretti to kill something. We are drawing 2 cards a turn, which is advantageous. Opponent might have to, or might play scared and might just tap Tolarian Academy every turn. They play a Steam Vents into Teferi. Well, unfortunately, we can do nothing about Teferi. They draw a card with him. They're going to untap some lands. Probably counterspell mana, like Steam Vents, Sanders Lounge. No, Rishadan Port. Okay. We untap. They're going to tap Academy. We're going to say Homage. We want to draw cards. We draw a Signet and a Lodestone Golem. Make a Construct. And then play a Lodestone Golem. Pass the turn. Opponent plays a Plains. See what they do. They could tuck Lodestone Golem, though we would redraw him relatively quickly. They tuck Duretti. Okay. 6 mana. Is this an Elspeth? Opponent is rethinking their move. They play a Signet first. It's probably Little Teferi. Oblivion Ring. Okay. I'm going to vote Carnage on Coercive Portal, because I would like to answer Oblivion Ring and Teferi. Oh, they're going to Oblivion Ring Coercive Portal. Okay. Well, if we draw removal for Wall of Omens, we answer... That is removal for Wall of Omens. Cast Archon. Oh, actually... Let's go ahead and Signet first. then play Archon. Okay, opponent has to sack. We sack Wall of Omens. We draw Everflowing Chalice. Kill Teferi. Okay. Opponent's turn. They thirst for Discovery. So they draw 3, then discard 2 cards unless they discard a basic land. And they scoop. Okay. So our opponent is Control. Do we want to adjust for that at all? I don't think so. I think we just run it back. Well, we have a ton of ramp. The problem is, how are we going to cast the initial pieces of ramp? I'm still going to keep this, though. Tolarian Academy doesn't tap for any mana until we draw some sort of artifact that we can actually play. Opponent mulligan to 5, which is probably good news for us. We draw Through the Breach. Through the Breach is potentially very good, because we can Through the Breach an Archon at the very least. Opponent plays a Swamp. We draw Duretti, scrap Savant, play Lava Claw Reaches. So a Signet would be really good here. Swamp is really good, because we can play Duretti. And Duretti's going to start making constructs, which will start powering out mana for Tolarian Academy. We draw Stomping Ground. So make a construct, play Academy, play Thrawn Dynamo, play Duretti, discard Gilded Lotus, Stomping Ground, because we can reanimate. Gilded Lotus. Okay, opponent plays a Godless Shrine and a Mox Pearl. But they're missing blue mana. Make a construct. I'm going to actually ditch 2 more lands, because we don't need... okay, play Signet. We don't need to reanimate Lotus for it to be good this turn. I cannot play both Braids and Archon this turn. But I can Braids and Through the Breach Archon. If I tap for it correctly. So let's play Braids. Play Raging Ravine. And pass the turn. Okay, opponent has the Wandering Emperor. They're going to make a Samurai token. So on my end step, I'm going to Through the Breach Archon of Cruelty to make them sack the Wandering Emperor. We draw Everflowing Chalice. More mana. Okay. His opponent has to sack probably the Samurai token. And the game is over. Alright! See, that's the kind of shenanigans I wanted this deck to do in match 1. Duretti is just... both versions of Duretti. It's just messed up magic cards, man. They... we're killing stuff, reanimating stuff. So opponent was locked off of blue, but like... oh, man, that was sweet. We got to do interesting shenanigans. Hardcast Archon. Alright, round 3, let's go. I would like to play first. Yeah, I think this hand is actually quite good. I will keep. We can Demonic Tutor for like Soul Ring, or something huge to cast off of Tolarian Academy. We really just need to like draw a Signet. We just need to draw artifact mana. Okay, opponent starts with Field of the Dead. We draw Duretti. I do not currently have red mana. I don't really want to play Revoker without knowing what it is my opponent is doing. So let's Demonic Tutor. We have Tolarian Academy, so we don't really need Golos or anything like that. I could get like Braids. I guess I can almost cast Braids. I can get a red Signet and we can play Duretti. That seems not bad. I mean, I can get Soul Ring, I don't know, I don't really have anything to play off of it right now. I kind of want to get Gruul Signet. which seems questionable, but it's kind of like demonic tutoring for a land. People do that. Okay, opponent plays Caracas. So it's kind of like they're on the land strategy. Okay, so we're going to play a forest, play a signet, play Phyrexian Revoker, and I'm going to name Black Lotus. Because there is a possibility my opponent has a Black Lotus. But I don't know what non-land permanents I should name, considering they've only played 2 odd lands. If they're playing Field of the Dead, they're likely playing green. They just like drafted a whole bunch of different lands out of the cube. Okay. Bloodchief's Thirst, Phyrexian Revoker. Sure. Okay, we draw Steam Vents. So let's play Tolarian Academy. And play Duretti. Let's uptick him, and we're going to ditch these 2 lands and try and draw good stuff. 2 more lands. Not what I wanted to see. If my opponent plays something big and scary, we can metamorph it. Bazaar of Baghdad. Is this another Reanimator deck? Oh, they're probably doing this because they're playing like Life from the Loam. You can have like Fast Bond Exploration. Okay, we draw Golos. So let's ditch these 2 lands. Get Relic and Lodestone Golem. So Relic is mana neutral. And then we can play a Lodestone Golem. Okay. I'm not above metamorphing a Lodestone Golem. Not at all. We're missing... We have blue, black, green, white, and red mana, so we can actually activate Golos. Opponent Bazaars. And like if they're doing any grave shenanigans, like Iona reanimation, we do have Relic activation, which is pretty sweet. This is Shallow Grave Iona. Because I would sack Relic for a Shallow Grave with an Iona in the grave. The good news is we are not monocolored. Opponent is thinking. Okay, they untap. They draw. Okay, opponent Bazaars. They ditch Collective Brutality, Tundra, and Balance, and then play an Esper Triland. Okay. And they are going to Path Lodestone Golem. That does suck a little bit, but I can make it work, I think. White, black, green, red, blue. So we have all of our colors of mana. I'm just going to get an island, I think. We untap. We draw Through the Breach, which is not currently helpful. So I think I'm just going to play Golos. Yeah, we're just going to play Golos and get Raging Ravine. I'm going to uptick, but I'm not going to discard anything. Just going to pass. Okay, opponent has a Palace Jailer. So they're going to exile Golos and become the Monarch. We can metamorph Palace Jailer. We draw Everflowing Chalice, which I think is a lot of mana. We're going to metamorph Palace Jailer, exile their Palace Jailer, and become the Monarch. Get back Golos, get a Rafine's Tower, and how much mana is that? 4? But I don't have... I might have been able to tap in such a way that that would have made more sense. But let's go ahead and cast a big Everflowing Chalice. And then uptick to ready again. We draw Mindslaver. Awesome. We can actually alt Duretti if we wanted. So we're getting duressed. So there goes Mindslaver. If they don't answer Duretti, though, we can just reanimate Mindslaver, which would be pretty sick. Okay, opponent plays a Plains. 5 mana. Is this like a Karmic Guide? If it is a Karmic Guide, I would have to sack Relic to stop them from getting Iona. The Scarab God. Okay. Opponent passes. We untap. We draw a Memory Jar. So we have an absolute crazy amount of mana. Let's float mana. Get back Mindslaver. And activate Mindslaver. So we'll be controlling our opponent during their next turn. Then we can activate Golos. Playing Gilded Lotus, Archon of Cruelty, and Braids. Yeah. That's pretty sick. Oh, that was awesome. We got to live the Golos dream. We don't really have any sideboard for a Reanimator-ish deck. We're playing Relic in the main deck. Relic has been super good in all of our matches, by the way. Everyone's been using the Grave. We just kept horrible hands versus a very fast Reanimator opponent to start. Okay, this hand I will mulligan because this hand does actually nothing. And so does this one. That's not good. Alright. Okay, we've got a Signet and a Demonic Tutor. No way to cast the Demonic Tutor. But it is there. Opponent leads on a swamp. We draw a Lodestone Golem, play Raging Ravine, pass the turn. So opponent plays an island and passes. We draw Silent Clearing. Okay. Play a forest, play Selesnya Signet, pass the turn. So next turn we can Lodestone Golem. Opponent plays Teferi, Time Raveler, bouncing a Signet. Okay. We draw Archon of Cruelty. So I think we Silent Clearing, play Signet, play Phyrexian Revoker, and name Teferi Time Raveler. Pass the turn. They Blood Chief's Thirst to kill Revoker. We untap. We draw a Swamp. Play a Swamp. And we can Demonic Tutor, or we can play Lodestone Golem. If I Demonic Tutor... Is there anything I can get for 3 or less that would be really good here? There's Duretti. I could play Duretti. But Duretti is not that good. It's good, but it's not that good. I could also go get Tolarian Academy. I think I'm just going to wait. So play Lodestone Golem. Pass the turn. Okay, we get pathed. So we can go get an island. Opponent untaps. We're very close to Archon. Opponent upticks to Fairy. Play Tidehollow Sculler, so there goes Demonic Tutor. Well, I guess I was supposed to get a mountain so I could animate Raging Ravine. There's no way they don't take Demonic Tutor. Because, like, I'm just going to go get whatever the best card in my deck is and play it. Yeah, okay. They pass. We untap. We draw Chrome Mox. Chrome Mox, not very useful here. I can sack Silent Clearing, but that's one of my only white sources. Yeah, I think I'm just going to pass. This is not looking good. Not right now. Opponent plays a Savai Triome. Upticks to Fairy to 4. Hits us for 2. And plays a Putrid Imp. We draw through the Breach. Well, I mean, if we're gonna be through the breaching, we should probably do that. Hoping to dodge Spell Pierce, Miscalc, Mana Leak, Remand. Mana Drain is a bad one. You know, I named all the counterspells other than Counterspell weaker than that, but if you've got a Mana Drain, I mean, go for it, I guess. This opponent gets 5 colorless mana. And they play the Scarab God, which is pretty good. They bounce a Signet, draw another card. They can make an Eternalized Phyrexian Revoker and name Selesnya Signet. We can hit for 3. We untap. We draw Duretti. So Duretti can answer the Scarab God. So first thing first, we play a Chrome Mox. We exile nothing. We play a Signet. And then we play Duretti. And we... Oh, the Scarab God comes back. I should have killed Tidehollow Sculler. Oh, I didn't think that through. But they didn't reanimate Phyrexian Revoker in response. They just had the Wandering Emperor, which I think is way better. I don't have Oblivion Stone. Coercive Portal is never going to wipe this board. Doretti's already dead. What can I do to get out of this? Through the Breach got countered. I will not have enough artifacts on board for Archon of Cruelty off of like a Talarian Academy. Golos would be a good draw, but I think I'm going to be dead too fast. So I'm taking 4 here. And we're losing extra life to Scarab God's other ability. We have 6 mana. We can go up to 7. But we can't get Archon out. Okay. Alright. Last game. Let's do it. Let's hope for something broken. I would like to play first. We have a Braids, not a fast Braids at all, but one we can cast. I'm gonna mulligan. You know, this hand has Relic. I'm actually gonna keep this. We're gonna put back Ulamog. Because if we draw a Soul Ring, this hand is amazing. If we draw a land, this hand is actually pretty good, especially if it's a black land. Because we'll be able to then play Everflowing Chalice into Braids. And early Braids is just game over. We do have Phyrexian Revoker, so if our opponent does play another early permanent with activated abilities, we might be able to disrupt it. Okay, an Island. Island is good. So we can multi-kick once to play an Everflowing Chalice. Okay, come on, Swamp off the top. Swamp off the top into no disruption from the opponent. No permanence, no disruption. Jerk. Okay. So, they're probably going to take Braids. If they... I mean, like, Lodestone Golem could potentially... I don't think it's worse than Braids for them, but it might really disrupt their game plan, especially if they're only on 2 lands and have a handful of expensive cards. They took Lodestone Golem, which means they can probably answer Braids. I really need to hit a land. And I don't want to, but I think I have to cycle this Relic to try and find one. We found a Signet. We did find a land, it's just the wrong one. So play Rafine's Tower, play the Signet, and we'll play Revoker and name Teferi Time Raveler. So we can play Braids next turn, and she will still be good next turn, but... Oh, Liliana! Sack, not discard? That must mean they have, like, Path for Braids. Memory Jar. I could play a Memory Jar. Oh, they almost certainly have an answer for Braids. They're going to make us discard because Liliana needs to uptick. They cannot get around 1 Braids trigger, so they'd have to sack something. But, like, Memory Jar on their end step would be so good. We can only do one or the other. Let me think about this. If Braids... So if they just sack, like, Swamp, it doesn't really do anything if they can still do stuff. If they have a Path, Braids is, like, legendarily bad. They're going to uptick Lily. We're going to lose whatever's in her hand. Is forcing them to sack a permanent better than getting a full grip of 7 for 1 turn? I think the answer is no. Oops. Which really sucks, because I love Braids so much. If my opponent misses a land drop this... Okay. Alright, we made the right choice, because Karakas Braids... Actually, that would have been pretty decent, I think. Because if they Karakas Braids, they'd have to do it, like, on our end step. Every turn, but they did have an answer to her, so... Opponent ditches Iona. Oh man, I really hope they can't reanimate Iona. They attack us for 2, that's fine. We're gonna go to 12. And on their end step, Memory Jar. Opponent exiles 4 cards, gets a full grip of 7. We get a full grip of 7. Which is not a particularly good 7. I cannot play Terastodon. I can play Mindslaver. I can play Doretti. Because this forces us to discard, right? Each player discards their hand and returns to their hand each card exiled this way. Problem is I can only really cast 1 spell. Mindslaver is potentially very good. Oh, I don't even have red mana. I don't even untapped red mana, so Duretti is not even a thing. That sucks. So the options are Mindslaver or Coercive Portal. And to play Mindslaver, I have to play an untapped land. Opponent does have like Oblivion Rings for Coercive Portal. Mishra's Factory can pressure Lily a little bit. Yeah, I think we're going to go with Mindslaver. And then just ditch the rest of his hand. At least this way, if they exhume, we get Terastodon. Okay, opponent could not cast Venser, which is good. But they can cast the Wandering Emperor. Okay, they ditch a card. They ditched the rest because our hand is empty. They give Tidehollow Sculler first strike and a counter. They play Field of the Dead and attack for 5. Okay. We go to 6. Gotta draw something good. They're ready. No red mana. Still no red mana. Alright, well. Mindslaver you. Okay, so we untap as our opponent. They cycle a land. So we draw Bloodchief's Thirst. So we can either force them to discard or force them to sack. Okay, I think the play is we go to combat. Attack for 3. No blocks. We take 3. Oh, I could have actually animated and blocked the samurai token, but we are going to exile Tidehollow Sculler. They gain life. We get our Lodestone Golem back. We can uptick, ditching Palace Jailer, and then we ditch. I really don't want to get rid of Duretti, but can't play anything else really. And ditch Duretti. And then we can Bloodchief's Thirst Lily. Float mana. Play Mox Pearl. Float mana. And then we can sack Silent Clearing to draw a card. I should have done this first to see if I hit red mana or not. Okay. So we untap, we draw a swamp. Play a swamp. Play Thrawn Dynamo. Play Lodestone Golem. Pass the turn. Opponent puts a counter on the Samurai token and it gains first strike. We have to block with the Lodestone Golem. Yeah, I think my sequencing here was actually atrocious in the top deck path. Alright, that's GG. Oh, well, we tried. The deck was very silly. It was a lot of fun to play. We got to see it go off once, but hope you guys are enjoying this Vintage Cube. If you are, please leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe to the channel if you're so inclined, and remember you can follow me on Twitch. Same username over there as you find me on here. I stream in the Sunday afternoons, Sunday sometimes time bracket, but hope you can catch me live, and, you know, otherwise, excellent. Or let's see, Discord. There's a link to my Discord if you want to hang out with all the people that seem to show up in my Twitch chat. It's a ton of fun, and I've got a Coffers Control primer up there. I'm going to be doing one for Green Tron soon-ish, but hope to see you guys there. Bye! You're all wonderful human beings. Thank you for tuning in.